my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. I am wearing Fashion Over. Yes, my darling. I bought this sometime last year and I absolutely love the blues. It just reminds me of Miami. Yes, my darlings. Are we living and are we loving? So why are we here? I'll tell you why we're here. Last week, I had my girlfriend Artha and we went over the defamation suit from Brigitte MACRON to Candace Owens, because Candace Owens accuses Brigitte MACRON of being a man. And I had said I will go every single episode of the Brigitte MACRON series of which Candace Owens had produced. So I have gone through episode 1 and I would like to reintroduce to you my wonderful Artha for a part 2, but episode 1 of the Being Brigitte MACRON. Yeah, and this way you can hear my thoughts. Artha, it's lovely to see you, my darling.
Likewise, ditto, and you look amazing as usual.
Darling, you look like a ray of sunshine. When I tell you I live and I love, I live and I love, my darling. You are looking gorgeousness. I live and love. How have you been?
I've been great. Just got back from Morocco, so I'm in high spirits. You know when you just come back from holiday, so you just like, the energy's good, high vibe, great.
100%. Artha, you have to let Fumi Nation know that you are a fitness buff.
I am. Okay, so let me give you a quick spiel. So yes, for those that don't know, I'm Artha. I'm 41. I spent a large part of my life overweight. And I think when I got to about 25, I thought, okay, enough is enough. I've got to do something. My weight has plateaued up and down. But I think over the past 5 years, since I had my daughter, I decided to take my fitness and diet and mental health really seriously. So I think all three of them are well intertwined. And since then, I've been on a fitness journey. You can follow me on TikTok or Instagram, where I drop lots of fitness gems and inspiration and ideas and just things that I've learned over the years. And like I said, for those that don't know, I've lost approximately 140 pounds.
What was your heaviest?
So at my heaviest, so I'm a tall girl, I'm 6'1". At my heaviest, I was, you see, I'm not good in kg, but I was 21 stone. At my heaviest, I was a dress size 24.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I was a big girl. I'm tall and I was big that way. And to be honest with you, I'd always been told all my whole life, oh, it's okay, you're supposed to be big. Your dad was big, you're tall, you're huge. And so I just accepted it for a long time. And then I thought, actually, I don't think this has to be the narrative. And as I set myself small goals. I said, I'll go down to a size 18. And then I got to a size 18. And I thought, okay, I could probably go to a 16 and a 14 and a 12. So it was very gradual. It gave me time to kind of get used to my new body. And to be honest, I've been living and loving this body, like you would say, like I was for you.
Yes, living and loving. Absolutely agree. I'm a tall girly too, almost 5'10", and I modeled for a very long time. But once I got married, we were trying for Adrian. I think that a lot had to do with the IVF. I just gained so much weight. I wasn't able to work out, had to do bed rest and all of that. And now I absolutely feel like my old self. My knees, oh my God, the weight on my knees, it killed me. It really did. So I'm really feeling good.
Understand. Yeah, you know, it's so true. People just don't understand how everything comes together. So I used to have backache, be constantly tired. And I remember thinking, where am I going to have the energy to look after a child? But I have to say, at 41, this is the most energetic, most youthful, I've ever been. So for me, this has to be a lifestyle because I feel better for it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Well, please follow our beautiful Artha on Instagram, because I follow her for her workout routines. Absolutely amazing. And we will do stuff in the gym if you want us to do that. This is a very lazy way of filming, but you guys seem to love it. We are on WhatsApp, but we will go to LOE Studio because this is the biggest defamation case going. Okay, Artha, go ahead, Mama.
Thank you. Please feel free to cut in because you know me, I will talk and talk and talk. So jump in when you have a question. Okay, so episode 1, you have watched it. I rewatched it again because, like I said, originally I watched this back in January, February as it came out when Candace was doing it.
Yes.
So going back to it, I feel like episode 1, Candace is introducing us to the characters. I feel like she is setting the scene. Its entirety, like I said, feels too far-fetched.
Yes.
But what we have to do is we have to look at the players that she's introducing.
Yes.
So first of all, Mimi is the PR specialist that she's brought on board.
Yes.
And she talks about how Mimi introduces us to Brigitte. They're very careful with placement. To be honest with you, whilst there is no proof, I do think, you know, for her to say there is proof that there were 60 Vogue covers of Brigitte. So, and we know the power of marketing and how much they kind of put the effort out there to kind of get the French people on side with this. And for a long time, even me, I was a big champion because I thought this is beautiful. An older woman, I love the narrative that not every man is chasing a 20-year-old bit of skirt. So I absolutely loved it when I saw it from a distance in the beginning. So some could say that maybe the PR machine works, but they brought this lady on board. You research her and it does show that she is a bit of a mafia type character in the media. So she kind of dominates the whole media. And then they then go on to introduce us to Xavier Neal. Now, one thing about Miss Brigitte Macron, her fashion is not to be played with. The tailoring is immaculate. She loves an LV. And that kind of made sense with this Xavier Neal character, the billionaire son, the son-in-law of the chairman of LV. Mm-hmm. Now, I think the reason Candace has introduced us to all these players is to understand the level of power we are dealing with, okay? Because with much power, we know that these people have the ability to warp and manipulate the story, the narrative, the tale. And then she also then goes on to, in terms of understanding the level of wealth of this chairman, apparently he's just recently overtaken Elon Musk.
Yes, as the richest. Yes, I saw that also.
Exactly. So I'm just thinking, and I think the reason that was important is because, once again, like we said, the power. When you have power, you have the ability to kind of change the narrative or have the narrative that you want out there, and which is, you know, like we've spoken about with the news, with media. When you have one single player, you have the ability to manipulate.
Yes.
Anyway, so she's introduced us to all of this. And then, like she says, the bit that really got me is once she said that once Mimi was ousted because she spoke about the ties with that shady character, okay, who I think after a while he had been noticed for doing some awful thing. I think he was dabbling in offensive. I don't want to say it on here just in case you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
But you know, he was doing some really stuff.
Yes.
And apparently this Mimi lady was kind of trying to help clean up his image. Once again, once you have money, you do what you want. You know,
correct.
These people get to... So she's cleaning it. And so I think they said from there, Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron were kind of trying to distance themselves. Now, obviously, this didn't make this Mimi lady very happy. She then takes a picture. And this is the part to me that I'm like, okay, this is more than a coinky-dink. She takes a picture of Miss Brigitte getting a little nip-tuck, a little bit of a surgery. And it turns out that the surgery, or the person that did her surgery, was this Dr. Patrick Bois, who specializes in facial feminization surgery for transgenders.
And now, he has been found dead.
Okay, I mean, that I didn't even know that. I didn't even...
Fumi Nation sent it to me.
Why? Okay, I mean, do we know why he was found dead?
I think I'll find out.
So the fact that the surgery she had was with this doctor in particular definitely set some alarm bells ringing. Ding, 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 ding. Listen, I'm all for a little nip-tuck, but this is
listen to this. Surgery. It said a dramatic tale claiming a transgender surgery specialist connected to Brigitte Macron suspiciously died spread across social media following an online series from the US conservative commentator Candace Owens, which reignited conspiracy theories alleging the wife of the French president had formerly been a man. But the American podcaster claims are unfounded and precipitated a defamation lawsuit from the Macrons. While the reports of a doctor's death are similarly fictitious, they rely on invention of fabricated surgeon, manipulated media, and impersonation of journalists. It's a lie.
Oh, so he's not dead?
No.
Okay. So who are they saying came up with that story? Are they saying that Candice put that out, or are they saying
No. Candace didn't put it out. It was sent to me by Fumi Nation. It had nothing to do with Candice saying it. It just said that he was found dead.
Anyway, this doctor, like we said, he works in facial feminization surgery. I think that's quite interesting. Now, where it becomes tricky, and I remember last time we spoke, it was asked, and it came up again and again in the comments, didn't it? Why does Brigitte Macron, why on earth does the First Lady have to justify herself to the likes of Candice? What does she owe Candice? And we all agreed she owes her absolutely nothing. And especially, like you said, because Candice has been quite dogmatic about this, she's been quite offensive, she's been quite rude. Agreed. However, where it gets tricky now is the fact that they got someone to write a letter. So first and foremost, they sent the cease and desist, which Candice shows us. Okay, and Candice specifically asked questions, you know, they've kind of said things that, oh, actually, this is her in the picture, and such and such and such, and they've justified and explained all the different things. But when Candice has asked a specific question, she said, did Brigitte Macron give birth? Not is she the parent of, did she give birth to those 3 children? Now somebody could say that, oh, maybe she had whatever, she didn't, you know, maybe she had a surrogate or whatever, but back then I don't even know if that was possible. But she didn't answer that question. What she did say is that Brigitte is the baby sitting on the mother's lap in that picture. They answered all the other questions, but they didn't answer that one. And then she also asked, was Brigitte Macron born a woman? It's such a simple question. It's a very simple, clear question. The fact that she has chosen not to answer it, you know, I think when I was speaking to you, I thought, you know, what we can do is say we can't be absolute, because for now it's all speculation, isn't it? And even Candice, to a certain extent, is speculating. I think it's heavy speculation. But what we have to now say is, based on that letter, in my opinion, they've opened the line of reasonable doubt.
I guess Fumi Nation are very curious as to know what I think so far, because in the last episode I had said that I strongly believe that Brigitte Macron is a woman. Yeah? My stance still stands.
Okay.
Why do I say that? Because Candace now says that she believes Brigitte Macron's brother took Brigitte's identity, that the real Brigitte is dead. Yes? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
That the real Brigitte has died. And so this wonderful, beautiful brother-sister bond and love, as I was dying, I said, take my identity and live your true self. That's not far-fetched to me. Do you know? That's not far-fetched to me. What's far-fetched is that we don't know where the body is.
Okay.
I need a body. I need a grave to have a body exhumed, and I need testing. Now, I also believe that Candace is extremely homophobic.
Agreed.
To the LGBT community, to trans, and she has a very deep distaste for them.
Yes.
Almost as if they have no right to live at all. You know, that's my perception.
Yes.
Having said that, Brigitte filed this defamation lawsuit. And that's what I keep hearing. But she filed, so now she has to give the testing, so on and so forth. No, I really think the Macrons want this to get to discovery, because they have given, and I have some information here of which I'm going to read. They've given so much information to Candace in the past, of which she has failed to accept and release also to her public. There's a lot of evidence that Owens' core claims are not true, including photographs and Brigitte Macron's birth announcement in a local newspaper. Brigitte Macron also has adult children who look a lot like her. Owens explains that away by arguing that Jean-Michel actually had those children as a man with a woman who looks a lot like Brigitte Macron but is not Brigitte Macron. Like I said, this is a hard sum up. As for Jean-Michel Trogneux, he's still very much around. The Macron lawsuit provides pictures of him at Emmanuel Macron's presidential investitures, sometimes even in the same frame as his sister, meaning no single transgender Macron could have done a quick outfit change to fool the camera through perhaps they pulled a prestige-like trick. The lawyers also claim to have voted cards establishing that the brother and sister voted in the same election but in different cities, proving that they are separate individuals. This is the lawsuit, okay, that we have been given. The truth. In her ex-post, Owens claimed that in mid-November, she made contact with a journalist claiming to have trove of evidence to support the claim that the First Lady of France lived as a man named as Jean-Michel Trogneux before becoming and transitioning to Brigitte. Owens crafted the post to suggest that she had a news source, but the journalist was actually Poussard, who she had already met and interviewed. Owens claimed that just 10 days after their initial correspondence, the Macrons sent their legal letter proving that Owens saw and ignored the Macrons' initial outreach in early December. Owens claimed the Macrons demanded not publicize the letter. In fact, the letter had only a heading stating it was not for publication or attribution, a far cry from the demand she claimed. Most troubling, Owens promised that she would publicize the December retraction demand, but she never did. And the reason is clear. The 33-page December retraction demand conclusively debunks Owens' claim and exposed her lies. I continue. Hold on. The only question that I have is what happened to his sister, Brigitte Trogneux. She promised views, more evidence about what happened to the real Brigitte, but it never came. Point 149. To further amplify her identity theft claims, because you see, it's not only saying that Brigitte is a man, it's also saying that Brigitte has taken the identity of the sister, which is identity fraud. There's a shopping list of claims that she's accusing the Macrons of. And that is why this has gone forward. It's not only because she's a man. I continue. To further amplify identity theft claims, Owen concocted a theory that Mrs. Macron gave an interview under the name of Veronique, an openly transgender individual in 1977. Owen said the voice was exactly the same as Mrs. Macron's according to an AI voice analysis, which is going to be thrown out because it has to be exact or not. But Owens admitted she doesn't know much about the software and provided no evidence that the analysis exists. Owens used this interview to bolster her claim that Jean-Michel transitioned to Mrs. Macron because Jean-Michel was married to a woman named Veronique. Owens described the marriage as only on paper, implying that it was a front for his transition. To make this claim, not only did Owens ignore publicity available, videos and photos of Jean-Michel, including from President Macron's inauguration, but also ignored the facts from her own source. In his book, Poussard admitted the man seen in the inauguration is named Jean-Michel and lives above the Trogneux family shop in Amiens. Owens does not inform her audience of this fact. Because, why? Because it would completely debunk her claim.
Okay. Candace does, somewhere in that 8-part series, address this man that is allegedly Jean-Michel. There are a couple of things. Instantly, I looked at this man and I thought this man looks a lot shorter and a lot pudgier. I mean, you can't tell. Obviously, there's a big difference. People change. So there is a possibility that it's him. Now, she ran it through the very same facial software recognition as the little boy, and it said, this is not a match.
The software match has to be 100% accurate unless it's not going to be used in court. There cannot be any mistakes.
It's not that they can't. Okay, so here's the thing. Because I watched another lady's video who said that she specifically also got an image of Will Smith when he was a child, which is undeniably Will Smith. And then she got a picture of him now. And the reason she chose Will Smith is because one thing that Candace and everybody else has seemed to really be fixated on during this whole case is Brigitte Macron's ears. They talk about the ears. That's kind of what they've used the facial recognition. So this lady said, okay, let me pick another celebrity that's got very prominent ears. And so she chose Will Smith. She chose a picture that is undoubtedly Will Smith, approximately age 6 or 7, and then a picture of Will Smith in his current age, I don't know, 50s or however old he is. The software is never going to give you 100% match. Even with Will Smith, it came up with I think 78 to 90% probability that it's the same person.
Yes.
Even though we know that the picture is the same person. So it's never going to give you an exact match. The reason being, because faces do change. The face of a 6-year-old is going to grow and it's going to change. You've got more wrinkles, you know, you've got age, the skin has changed. So it's never going to be 100% match. Now, a couple of things you've said that I think, listen, if people are conspiracy theorists, you can conspiracy theory anything away. So I am in agreement with you that if we are saying that she has taken the place of her sister, there should be a body. But like you said, can we really, I mean, who wants to go and disturb the dead? That's too far. That's really...
Oh, no. That's not too far, my darling. Because this is a matter of somebody else's life and reputation. If Brigitte Macron's life depended on this, there would be no case without a body. You cannot go ahead and accuse somebody of this and we do not have a body just to say, oh, I think. It's so preposterous to accuse somebody of being a man. One, then you go forward to say, you know what, the brother has taken the identity of her and she's actually dead. These are children of 6. All of her children have written testimonials, including her siblings. You have to remember the friends that they have, the families, the cousins, and all of this. They gave Candace this information, of which she did not share and she debunked, to the point that when she spoke and said, why don't you give us pictures again of your children? That was when it sat with me that they had given her pictures before. She just was not satisfied.
Born a man and you will die a man. That's the point I'm making. So give us a sample. I'll send my doctors to take your blood. We'll figure it out real quick, however you want to go about this. Hey, how about just giving us some pictures again of you growing up, raising your children? That would be fine. For whatever reason, to phone, by the way, like I said, we'll get to the bottom of it. Right? That is what discovery is for. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. You're probably hoping, this will go away and at least we'll say we sued her. We'll say we went after her. She'll probably file for this to get dismissed. I'd like to make it to discovery. I think that we owe that to the world.
Candace is I believe that she believes in what she's saying. I think what also rubs me up the wrong way is the way that she spoke. You would never hear Barbara Walters talk to anybody like that. You wouldn't hear Oprah talk to anybody like that. I send you a list. You tell me yes, you tell me no, you didn't answer. From Brigitte Macron's perspective, who is Candace Owens to speak to her in that way? Because I saw it in the comments. Let me tell you who Candace Owens is. I know who Candace Owens is. But remember, America is not the world. Brigitte Macron is in Paris. She's in Europe. They really don't know everybody in America. I know because I lived in America for 20 years. And I've lived in England also sort of for 20 years. And so I know what's happening on both neck of the woods. She would not have known who this Candace Owens was. And I think that was a huge mistake on Brigitte Macron's end. Because if you had investigated, then you would have known that she has a powerful, influential following. I don't care what anybody says. To get the president of the United States to call you, to tell you to back off, you're influential. That in itself is everything. The American president is busy. very, very busy, but he took the time to call you. That shows you that in actual fact, mainstream media, forget it. Social media is number one. So I understand from Candace's end. I just believe that a lot can be done with honey as opposed to vinegar. Let me also take this opportunity to say, I would love the opportunity to interview the president of France. And it will be an interview where I don't ask any questions. You just talk, I'll listen. Because I think that a lot comes from a lot of hostility. They felt very attacked. They felt it was extremely hostile. You were born a man, you'll die a man. That's what I am telling you. And saying I will come for that wig today. I cannot imagine anybody from Barbara Walters and the like, Larry King, from back in the day, to talk to somebody, talk about somebody like that. You know?
I think absolutely right. There is a part of Candice that is absolutely loving the media sensational aspect of this, and that's what she was playing up to. But you're absolutely right. Behind this is an actual human being. This is a person. It's unfair, regardless of whether she is a man or a woman. This is a person with feelings. And you're absolutely right in terms of, I think Candace Owens has got some incredibly extreme views. You know, her views on, you know, the LGBTQ, her views on abortion. I definitely do not agree with how much of an extremist she is. However, what I have to look at, and this is why I have to draw it back to the actual lawsuit that they sent pictures. One thing that we've said and we've seen in terms of how they move players around. Now, somebody could say that, oh, Artha, you're just a conspiracy theorist. But I want to re-emphasize the power of money. When you speak about, oh, where is the death certificate? Like I said, with other cases they've done, if people that have the power and the money, if they want to remove something, if they want to get rid of a death certificate, they can. Now, you mentioned something about, okay, this is a big deal, and yes, the fact that they have accused her of this, it is serious enough for them to exhume the body and do some testing and prove. The reason I said that's not necessary is because it's very simple. Give us a blood test.
It is important, my darling, because it's identity theft. It's not only her being a man, but she's also not taking the identity of somebody else. That's a crime. It's not only claiming to be a man, it's also stealing somebody's identity. I also want to add that the relationship with Brigitte, Macron and Emmanuel will never ever sit right with me. Never. I think that is it's so far of a stretch. It doesn't matter.
Older,
huh?
Even now that they're both of age, it still won't sit right with you?
No.
Okay.
No. You know why? Because of how it started.
Okay.
Had she met him at 30 and she was 55, fine.
Yes.
I would have liked it that he was an adult. It doesn't sit with me because you knew him as a boy.
As a child.
As a child. And as far as I'm concerned, when I was 13, 14, I used to have crushes on Michael Jackson. I had crushes on the Bay City Rollers. Remember the Scottish group? In France, the legal age is 15. For me, the legal age, for me personally, is 18.
Yes.
That's mine, 18. And even that 18, I remember when I was 18. I was a kid. You know, and it has been said that Brigitte distanced herself from him and left. I don't know when she left. I don't know when the parents found out and took him away. As far as I am concerned, because of how it started, I would never ever have gone down that rabbit hole. I would have had to sacrifice whatever I felt about him and say, Emmanuel, I can never be with you. Because this doesn't sit well with me. And I will always be looked upon as I knew when you were a kid. Even though we might not have had anything sexual going on. This has come back to haunt her. And it has come back to haunt her in the form of Candace Owens, who has extreme beliefs.
Yes.
I humbly believe management and publicity and PR said we have to scrub all of this clean when he became a president. and they wanted it to be this wonderful Peter Pan love story, because they could not have this 15-year-old boy out here in the streets become a president. You see, I'm very clear. I'm very, very clear. I'm not dancing on any fence. Not at all. I don't have a dog in this fight. On top of which, what the French did to Africa is despicable.
Of course.
As an African, that's where I say, Emmanuel, do you see how karma came right out here and bit you on the butt in the form of Candace Owens?
Exactly. I wholeheartedly agree with everything that you've just said there in terms of it not sitting right. And I think a lot of people, and just to touch on that once again, that's where they had that PR Michelle Marchand come and really pick things up.
Because I believe they cleaned it up. They cleaned it up. And that's where I sit with Candace. When it comes to children, number one. When it comes, because I believe that Candace has 4 children, and I think she started having babies in 2020, 2021. And it shifted. We're all mothers. I would watch over Candace's children, as I believe Candace would watch over mine, as I would watch over yours, and Candace would watch over yours. We're not mothers to one, we're mothers to all. And I think it really bothered Candace, because she's got 3 boys. She can't imagine her 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old son coming home with a 35-year-old woman.
Exactly. And a woman that says, okay, I'm going to leave my husband. I don't even know why it makes it worse, but you're going to leave your husband and your 3 children to be with a 14, 15, 16, whatever age he was, year old boy. That is mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But the one thing that I wanted to say at the end of the letter that Candace speaks about in episode 1, which I really want everyone, it's literally just at the end, the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
I say go back and listen to it. In the letter that the Macron's legal team wrote to Candace, when Candace specifically asked them to confirm that Brigitte was born a biological woman and she physically birthed her 3 children, the palace response was, it is an improbable conspiracy theory. What? An improbable, sorry, is it a lie or not? An improbable. You see, what I'm saying is the language they use, and everybody knows. One thing I learned, so a few years ago I had a legal case, and one thing I learned is the language you use, and this is what has made the UK so great, because their ability to manipulate the English language and how you your placement of words is essential. Because obviously, if it's found out that they're lying when they get to court, you know, it's a problem. So that's why it's almost like everything they're talking about is defamatory, isn't the actual substance. And that's what I want to draw people's attention to. All the other stuff, 100%, you're absolutely right. If she has done identity theft, we have to get to the bottom of that too. But the substance, the meat and potatoes of the claim is, Brigitte Macron, were you born male or female? And the fact that they haven't answered that question, you keep sending pictures. This is Brigitte when she was a child. This is this. It's like me asking you 2 + 2 and you say, oh, the sky is green. The sky is blue today. No. What is 2 + 2?
Okay, I think that the Macrons want this to go to discovery and they will show the evidence there. I think they want to teach Candace a lesson. That's why they are suing in Delaware, because that is where Candace's company is at.
It's registered.
It's registered, yes. I think that they are doing this because they feel so violated. Teach her a lesson and make her an example.
They want to get her back the way she's got there. Understandable.
Yes. We'll come back for episode 2 and we'll see how that goes.
Yes, please.
You know,
let's
100%.
Exactly. To be honest, that's pretty much summed it up. My biggest thing is, if you have been asked a direct question and you cannot give a direct answer, to me, there's something fishy, there's something not right in the water. There are other things that have come up in other episodes, but I'm not going to jump ahead of the gun.
Yes.
Let's go through them. I need to hear from the Fumi Nation in the comments. Please let us know what were your thoughts after episode 1, because I was flabbergasted. I told you I almost fell off the treadmill when you said this means nothing. I was
means
like,
nothing.
What?
I love this. I love this. It was fabulous. Oh my God. All right. So, Fumi Nation, I hope you enjoyed the first episode with our amazing, beautiful Artha. Let me know if you love this format of me swinging back and forth, in and out of focus. Artha is my girl, and I love the fact that we are agreeing to disagree and we are just having this banter. You know, drop it down in the comments. Why don't you? And let me know what you think. And it is the biggest defamation case going on now. I have to cover it. Maybe they will prefer for us to go live going forward with this series.
Can they ask us questions when we go live? If we go live?
Darling, it's fantastic because you just pick them up and their camera pops up and they're talking to us like we are talking.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
perfect.
They can come from Philadelphia, they can come from Paris, they can come from everywhere because it is so divided in the comment section. It's unbelievable, so divided. And Fumi Nation, they're a class act because I have seen other comment sections. So classy, no name calling or anything. But Fumi Nation are known, well, you know, we're ladies, are known for that. Well, you saw them at the meet and greet. They're just such a classy bunch.
Beautiful people,
beautiful,
lovely energy,
yeah,
like you're just respectful in person, in the comments, 24/7. I love you guys. I love the
100%. Artha, take the floor and say goodbye, my love.
Thank you so much, Fumi Nation, for allowing me to express my opinions on this. I absolutely love this discussion. Thank you, thank you. Have a blessed week ahead. And please do follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. It's Artha's Gym and Tonic on TikTok. Thank you so much, Auntie Fumi.
You're so welcome. All right, my darlings, I love you. Yes, I do. Look, back up. Have you noticed that I refuse to give any of this away? It's always sold out. Always what? It's always sold out. So, guys, what do I think about our slippery lime shampoo? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. And for the benefit of other shampoo products, I covered them. I had to do this test because I needed to prove a point. And I don't want to bring up any other product or brand, but these are other shampoos that I've had. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to take them out one by one. Let me put my slippery slime here. I'm going to bring it out one by one and I'm going to pour it out for you to see. Yeah, look at the consistency. Look at the consistency. Okay, that is one. Look at the consistency of this one. Okay. Look at the consistency of this. Oh God, look at the consistency of this. Look at the consistency of slippery slime shampoo by Healthy Hair Studio, created by a trichologist called ENITAN. It's a beast. It won't even. Just look. If you are asking me, Fumi, a slippery lime shampoo, Healthy Hair Studio, created by trichologist ENITAN. Is it FDV approved? It is absolutely FDV approved. It is absolutely FDV approved. Go right ahead and use my discount code Fumi and get you.
The value of the information that we were given. So it's not overwhelming. It was very clearly laid out. It was accessible even for someone that's not familiar with public relations.
Now I'm leaving, feeling more PR ready. What I thought I knew, I now know more. What I came to do, I've done so much more.
If you are serious about really growing your business or growing your brand, then like this is really this is a must.
And I love the fact that I came away from it feeling and knowing that I now have a clear pathway for the things I want to do next for my business.
I'm literally in awe.
I feel like I can pitch. There's so many platforms that I've wanted to go on, so many podcasts or just things that I thought I can only dream about. But in this retreat and just through the classes and the sessions, I really learned how to actually reach out to those platforms, to those huge platforms.
Know that when it comes to PR, Nina gonna put you together, okay? During our sessions, how she walked us through the playbook and she had us complete tasks. It gave us a sense of clarity.
Nina, you did that. You brought a group of amazing women together and you helped us bond, see our worthiness, and yeah, it was everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Yes, it's really been a unforgettable experience.
This is by far the most impactful few days I've had in a very long time.
Nina, you have no idea how profoundly your journey has impacted my journey.
Don't even think about not signing